Gravitation is a Yaroze exclusive game that was built for the PlayStation back in 1998, and this game was developed solely using the Yaroze development kit that you could get access to back then. The Yaroze platform was used as a means for people like myself or yourself to get their foot in the door with creating games for the PlayStation console back at that time. So you got access to a load of different development assets and hardware, along with software needed to run the programming languages and development elements and assets that were needed to construct a game from start to finish. And Gravitation is one of the first games to ever be developed and showcased on the system, and it was a great entry point for independent or small time developers, or even people just looking to get started with developing games, not just for the PlayStation but to develop video games in general, so that they could eventually launch their careers. So it was a great starting point. And with this game, it's almost kind of like an old school Asteroids type of game, and you would remember games like this way back from early days of computers with the likes of the Atari 2600, even to more personal home computers with the likes of the Amstrad 464, the Commodore 64, the ZX Spectrum, among other well-known personal computers back in the early to mid 80s. So this game was heavily inspired by a lot of those type of games that would have been released back then. Now, there were 10 different levels available within this game, and your goal is to fly through each of the checkpoints. Each of the levels offers their own level of customized difficulty. As you can see from the screens, they're all very unique and quirky in their design elements, and each of them offer their own trials and hurdles to overcome. So you really have to think of a strategy and be very, very careful with how you press the buttons on the controller to be able to navigate the ship around each of the checkpoints for a certain number of laps to be able to complete the level so that you can move on to the next. And it is a difficult game because any wrong move, or if you hit something, you will instantly blow the ship up and you'll have to start pretty much from where you left off or back at the starting point. So it is a unique concept, and it shows what was capable back then, and especially the fact is that you could develop games for the PlayStation was a really nice touch. This game as well also did get a release on one of the demo discs back in June of 1998. I have done a previous video on that demo disc that includes some gameplay of this game in it also, so I'll be sure to leave a link down to that video down in the description. So this was just one of many unique games that were published on demo discs, as it was one of the best ways to showcase the games in action so that you could get a feel for them and you could play them in real time. So that in itself was a pretty cool touch. So I'd love to know your thoughts on this game, or even other games like this that were developed using the Yaroze platform back in the day, and if so, what are your thoughts on it? Did you develop games for the system yourself? And if so, what are your experiences behind it? Did you enjoy the experience of developing games using that platform, or maybe not so much? Or are you also a player that used to play these games on the demo discs back in the day? What are your stories that you have on them, and what did you think of them? Also, be sure to share them down in the comments below. So if you have enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more videos like this where I do cover more games that were developed on the Yaroze platform for the PlayStation, then be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be updated when future videos are released. And do feel free to check out some of the other videos on the channel where I have covered other previous games that were also developed on the platform also. So be sure to check those videos out, and until next time, make sure to keep playing those classic games and enjoying them, and keep those gaming memories alive.